Rise and Shine with Robbo and Becci on Vision.
Yes, it's the newbie here, DJ Payne, and on the line with me, I have the wonderful, the lovely Brett and Kate Ryan. I'm trying to butter them up because they're my first interview. Focus on the Family Australia. Guys, thank you so much for being my first interview here on the Breakfast Show.
Well, we are very privileged and we'll be very gentle with you.
Thank you. I need all the cotton wool that you have there. That's what I need, because not only have I jumped into the fray here at Vision Christian Media, I've moved up, multiple states away, and my family, my lovely wife Benita, and our 3 boys are still states away from me. I'm up here by myself.
Oh, that is sad. That is sad. So we'll be here to boost you up and encourage you.
Well, especially because we're going to be talking about date nights.
Well, thanks. I'm going to make me feel even more sad that I miss my wife here, but you're talking about date night.
Well, you can necessarily just put these in the memory bank, and you actually say, you know what, this is what we're going to do when we're reunited.
I love it. I love it. Now, my wife often complains to me that, like most men, the romance, was great before we got married. I did all the wooing then, but where's all the romance now, 20-something years into our marriage?
Yeah, because you're on the hunt and you wanted to get your prize. And once you've mounted her onto the mantelpiece, you don't need to do it anymore. So that's really bad, and I apologize for the metaphor. But the thing is, it's quite often you're on your best behavior. We know that it's not the true self. And when you get married, then the true self comes out. And I actually think we need to continue to woo our spouse. We need to continue to be on our best behavior and continue to work and be intentional on building that healthy relationship with your spouse.
Okay, so you need to help me with this, because when she eventually does come back up here, or I'm going to try to take a bit of a break over a long weekend and get down there, give me some tips. How do I woo this woman that I love so much?
Oh, wow. How long have we got? Well, I would hope that after 20-something years, you know a little bit of what she likes.
Yes.
So I would tap into that and say, okay, well, she loves going out. If she loves going out for coffee, spend some time together, and I just want to hear what's been happening. First of all, women love to be seen and heard.
Yes.
And understood.
Oh.
And so you just sitting, let's go and talk, let's go spend some time, just you and me. And so that way it really taps into the need that she's had because you've been away. But even when we're in the same house, we can be so caught up with the busyness of life that taking those moments out, it doesn't have to be an expensive date. It just doesn't. When people go, oh, we can't afford it. Well, go for a walk. Go for a walk around the lake or, the back streets to a park. Brett and I, when the kids were young, we would even take a lacrosse stick or ball or something and throw that and talk.
Wow.
Well, we did that.
And Kate always beat me.
Now, were you letting her win there? Is that part of the wooing, letting her win?
Well,
I was a PE teacher. So, yeah.
That's
I had
awesome.
the upper hand.
That's
well,
awesome.
I do think it's, as Kate was saying, is you tap into the person's language of love. And we could talk about that at another time to remind people about tapping into the needs and the tank that they need to be filled, whether that's that time, whether it's the gifts, whether that's the spending the little acts of service. These little things can make all the difference, and physical touch and words of encouragement. They're the big 5. But I think it's really important to be ongoing and continue to work on the relationship, because often the children can get the best of us and life can be very busy. Yeah. And it's very important that you invest in your relationship, because if you don't, the kids will leave the nest and you're going to look at each other and go, who are you? And so it's important not to be child-centric or, the kids are the center of the universe, but actually to work on your relationship, because you were a family before the kids arrived and you will be a family when the kids leave. Yep. And so investing in that relationship and being very intentional makes all the difference.
Give me some actual things that I can do, I can say on this, imaginary date night that we're going on.
Okay. So things you can actually say and do. Well, I think just saying being apart, for you guys, being apart is sucky. And it's interesting you should say that, because our son's had to actually go away for work recently, and his wife was on her own. And so she went and spent a couple of nights at her parents' place. And then the second week, he said she's actually coming to work from up where he is working, because he said, boy, they've only been married a year. And he said, it was sucky.
Yeah.
We were only apart for 3 nights. And he goes, we didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
And I said, isn't that interesting? Because that's God's design for marriage, is that the husband is this boundary, this security. He's a protector, a whole lot of other things. And when he goes away, there's this weird void. Yes, this weird void of like something just isn't quite right.
Yeah.
And I said, God's designed it in a very beautiful way. And so this week she's now with him. But just to encourage her and just to say, you've held the fort, and so you've done a great job. I so appreciate that. I so appreciate you, for you particularly, I so appreciate you supporting me in this new season and allowing me to go and step into this new season, because as a husband and wife, we're backing each other and wanting the best for each other.
So the best thing you can do is to listen.
Yeah.
And
then
not
encourage.
And not to invalidate if she shares something. And this is for both, not to actually diminish someone's feelings and to really dig deep into how they're feeling. And if you can do that, then they can feel like, I hear you, I see you, you are valuable, I'm not invalidating you, and this is real. Yeah. And so some of the best things you can do is just to simply listen.
Oh, did my wife contact you guys before this interview? Has there any been?
Yeah, actually, I had a few words.
Yeah, we were down at Geelong last week.
Oh no, it's all coming together. Okay, so listening is crucial. Is it just me, or do guys have a problem in listening to their wives? Why do we have why is that such a stumbling block for us?
Yeah, good question, Kate. What's the answer?
Well, if I had that insight, all relationships would be unbelievable. No, I think a lot of men don't like to share their feelings.
We're not as emotionally connected as women are.
Yeah, it's vulnerability.
Women like to communicate, and that is how they communicate, is through their feelings and their emotions, whereas men may have been brought up with, don't share your feelings, don't show your weakness, don't show that you are vulnerable. And that's the reason why we've been programmed. And that doesn't mean that this is just a generalization.
Yeah.
But I think it's important, something that we can learn, how we can communicate, and how we can handle conflict, and how we can be more empathetic to our spouse.
So would the next part of the date night be, after I've listened and I've encouraged and I've engaged and I've validated her, do I try then to give her a little bit of vulnerability with her, like say, and this is what I'm feeling? Is that the next step?
Absolutely.
Well, hopefully your wife is going to say, well, how have you been doing?
Yeah, and I just say, good.
And then
you go, well, isn't that the truth when your kids it's like when your kids get in from, pick your kids up from school and you go, how was your day? Yeah. Good. So what did you do? Nothing.
So don't do that is what you're telling me.
Don't do that.
No, share how you're feeling and be real and genuine and authentic.
Yes, because what happens is if you just go, I'm good, it just
shuts the
conversation down, shuts them down, and all it says to them. So I'm going to say this from a woman's point of view. When a husband just says, I'm all good, that's it, well, we're done, you feel like he doesn't trust me, he doesn't value me, he doesn't want me to know him. And so it sends a whole other message.
Yeah.
Rather than.
And it may have been unintentional.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the reason why us blokes are saying, hey, we're good, is because we love you, we trust you. It's all the opposite of what you've just said.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And saying you're good, you can say that, but then you could go on to say why.
Okay.
Because if you say, I'm all good, and this is the things that have been going on, because that includes them, because it means because as a husband and wife, you're supposed to be united front, a force to be reckoned with together. And so if they don't understand you or get to hear what's going on in your world, then they feel shut out. And so you're not a united front. You're kind of these two divisions of the one family.
Yeah.
And so they want to be connected. They want to know. They want to understand you.
So follow up your listening with good questions.
Yes.
Which is another topic altogether. And I'll be very interested to see the questions that Becci and Robbo share about how you've gone in your first interview.
Well, Brett and Kate, in your capable hands, I think we've done okay. I think we've done
You've
okay.
been
I
amazing.
think you've done very, very well.
We're looking forward to doing many more in the future.
And for those people who are hearing this and going, yeah, hey, you know what? I want to do this. I want to be more intentional with my relationship. We're actually starting tonight our online marriage course. It's called Real Life, Real Love. And we'd love for you to sign up and to be able to spend an hour a week where you can invest in your relationship, be very intentional, and it'll be the catalyst for some ongoing conversations. And if you'd like to find out more details, you can sign up tonight at families.org.au.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.